We got LeBron James and Jalen Green preparing for their returns to the NBA basketball court for the first time this season, I should say. And then we're going to take a look at two acquisitions that already are looking mighty questionable for their teams in Desmond Bane and Myles Turner. We'll talk about all that and more right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, NBA fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central, your number one spot for everything basketball related. I'm the host, Eric Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at NBA Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content today, y'all. And usually I start off with the NBA news. We got LeBron James injury update news, Jalen Green making his return to the court as well, as he's been listed as probable. But I actually want to start off, we're going to flip this a little bit. Let me know how you guys feel about this. We'll put the news on the back end of the show just because I'm interested to talk about these two topics. So there are two acquisitions so far that are looking questionable for their teams. Now, one, the team is doing pretty good, right? And so it is what it is there. But every offseason, there's a team that makes a splash move or makes a move, and it just ends up not working out. And I think there are two of them right now that are raising some questions. And I want to hear from you guys on this one. And which one of these moves do you feel is looking worst off for the team? And it comes down to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic. Now, with the Milwaukee Bucks being 5-3, there's one to say that it's working well enough, right? And so we're going to start off talking about these moves. And we're going to start talking about Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic. This was one of the offseason moves in which I actually thought the Magic went out and got exactly what they wanted and needed in Desmond Bane. When you look at it, they did a trade with the Memphis Grizzlies to get Bane in there. They send KCP to Memphis and Cole Anthony and 4 first-round picks to the Grizzlies to get Desmond Bane. That's how much they view this. 4 first-round picks. And when you look at it right now, Desmond Bane is having one of the worst statistical seasons of his career to start off with. The Magic are worse when he's on the court. When Desmond Bane is on the court, the Orlando Magic are getting killed by 15.7 points per 100 possessions. That's not good at all by any stretch of the imagination. There's no way that you can overlook. They're getting outscored 15.7 points per 100 possessions. Their offense is worse by almost 10 points per 100 possessions as well. Their turnovers go up 3.5. The defense goes down by a considerable margin. Teams are shooting an effective field goal shooting percentage of 3% better than when Desmond Bane is on the court. And then when you look at the counting stats for Bane, this is by far the worst shooting season of Desmond Bane's career. He's shooting the ball 41% from the field, the lowest of his career, taking 12 shots per game. Again, that's the lowest shot per game total he's had since his rookie year. But when you come into a team with Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, you kind of expect that to happen, right? But then the alarming thing, they acquired Desmond Bane because of his proclivity as a three-point shooter. And so far this year, taking 4.5 three-pointers per game, he's hitting it at a career low 28%. When you look at Desmond Bane, he's had more 40% shooting three-point seasons than anything else in his career. And for him to fall off a cliff at 28.6%, you got to start asking yourself, is it something in the water in Orlando that's making three-point shooters bad? Because Desmond Bane has been horrible for the Orlando Magic. The lowest point per game total of his career as well, averaging 13.9 points per game. That's the lowest since his rookie year, where he averaged 9.2. This has just been a bad acquisition. And when you look up the fact that they gave up 4 first-round picks to get that deal done, this is maybe, as it stands right now, if this maintains for a full season, this is one of the worst acquisitions by any team in this offseason. And when you also look at the fact that, hey, they then got his replacement in Cedric Coward, right, who's still coming off the bench for that team as things stand right now. And then, KCP's been okay. He started all 9 games for that team. He's averaging 8.9 points per game, but that's not really off. When you look at the combination of drafting Cedric Coward and, on top of that, getting KCP to that team, it's no doubt that the Orlando Magic won that trade by a pretty large margin. And it's just, the trade is looking bad so far. It's looking actually terrible, if we're being 100% honest with it. And it's just a mad question about it. And I don't know what we're going to see when it comes down to it. Now, the next one is Myles Turner. Now, I said that this isn't a much different situation because the Milwaukee Bucks are winning basketball games right now, right? But for what it's worth, Myles Turner has not looked great over this time with the Milwaukee Bucks. The numbers aren't great. We knew he was going to take a little bit of a step back as far as a number-wise when it comes down to it. And one could say, hey, listen, they're winning basketball games, and as long as that happens, maybe that's it. But then you look at this loss most recently against the Toronto Raptors, where they get outscored by 28 points, lose that game 128-100. And in a game where you needed somebody to do something, he scored 11 points. And one of the biggest things and problems with this as well is that Myles Turner has never been a really good rebounder. And so when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks getting somebody to replace Brook Lopez that's supposed to be younger, he's just not been that at all. But for what it's worth, I mean, they are scoring better, 13.5 points better per 100 possessions when he's on the court. And so you got to look at that, and Myles Turner is bringing something defensively to that team as well. But Myles Turner's own production has taken a nosedive. He's averaging less than 10 points per game for the first time of his NBA career. His field goal shooting percentage so far is the lowest of his NBA career at 40%. His three-point shooting is at 35%, not nearly the worst of his career. But that part, he's only getting 6.5 rebounds per game. Now, he's getting the 2 blocks per game as well. And so when you just look at this when it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies, it's just like, hey, this is cool. Like you're still winning basketball games right now, but it's going to continue if that's all you're getting for Myles Turner. Now, keep in mind, while they signed him to a $107 million deal, which is cool, that's perfect, that's great, they had to waive and stretch Dame Lillard's $103 million left on his contract to facilitate this move. That is $210 million to make this move happen. And is it enough for that? And I guess the question comes down to it depends on how you view how valuable winning is right now for them. Now, if this maintains for the whole season and they win at this rate for the whole season, cool, great. I think you may still look at it and be like, damn, that was a lot to give up for Myles Turner. But, to sit at 5-3 right now, 5th in the Eastern Conference, only 1.5 games back of being number 1 in the Eastern Conference, I mean, maybe it's worth it. But I think right now on paper, you just look at this Myles Turner thing, and even on top of it, he just does not seem happy. And I know that's hard to quantify, but he just doesn't seem himself in Milwaukee. Maybe that changes and he wakes up, and then this is a mute point. Same thing for Desmond Bane. There's more than enough time left in the NBA season for all these points that I'm making to be mute. And it could come down to it, and they be solid deals. But as it stands right now, man, I think you got to question these moves and what they look like for these teams. But maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, which I can do sometimes. But let me know what you guys think on that down below. With that said, I said we got some news updates to get into. LeBron James has been cleared for contact, and they are targeting a November 18th return date for LeBron James. Now, keep in mind, the thing about this is not bad that he's returning to the basketball court. Cool. There's no harm, no foul in that. The Lakers still sit right now at 7-2 on the season, second in the Western Conference. They just got Luka Doncic back. Luka's playing at an MVP level, and when we return to November 18th, that'll be in where they're in a home and home against the Utah Jazz. And, he returned November 18th. They got 5 days off. They don't play again until November 23rd to when they travel to Utah. So that's a good kind of date to target a return where he's going to have some time back after that sciatica when it comes to it. But that's still a little ways off, right? And keep in mind, with LeBron James turning 41 in December, and now it seems like it's going to be a risk of LeBron James missing the All-Star for the first time of his NBA career. A 21-year All-NBA streak is going to be there for him. And with the 65-game minimum there, it means that he's going to have to be in just about every game remaining for the rest of the season for him to be able to qualify for that award. Is that going to happen? I guess we shall see, right? But, LeBron James is getting back on the court, and that's really the most important thing. The All-NBA streaks, all that type of stuff, and that is what it is, right? Let's focus on LeBron getting back on the court and then seeing what that means for the Los Angeles Lakers. Are they going to make something out of it? I guess we shall see if they do, and if he comes back and disrupts that rhythm at all. That's just a question I ask for anyone who misses that amount of time. LeBron James is going to be fine. He knows exactly what to do. I think him, Luka, and Austin Reeves have some things that they need to work out with as players, but I think overall they'll figure out their balance there, and it'll be okay. Now, another player returning and making their debut sooner rather than later, that is Jalen Green, who has now been listed as probable to make his debut for the Suns today as they take on the struggling Los Angeles Clippers. He did have a low-grade hamstring sprain in training camp and then re-aggravated it in preseason. And when you look at the Suns right now, they sit at 3-5 on the season. This was probably the biggest name that they acquired in the Kevin Durant trade. And reportedly, they have some vision of him developing and being a point guard for them with Devin Booker. I have my questions on how well that's going to work, but that's just me, right? But Jalen Green set to make his preseason debut more than likely today. And I guess we'll see how that's going to work out for this team, man. I know they're happy to have him back, and Jalen Green is probably happy to get ready to silence some doubters as well. You look at him last year, the highest point per game total of his career, second highest of his career with 21 points per game, and now he's coming into a situation where he has some things to prove. The Rockets sent you away for a move that they hope was going to make them a championship contender. Does he put that chip on his shoulder and go out there and ball out this season? I know the Suns are hoping that they're going to, and for what it's worth, the Suns' start has not been nearly as bad as I thought it was at 3-5. They're the only game on tonight, so watch that game. Let us know how you feel about that. Hopefully, for all we know, Jalen Green goes off tonight. I guess we shall see what happens there. But that is my time for today. I just want to bring you guys this quick update and episode. Let me know what you guys feel down below. Make sure you're following us at NBA Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything basketball related. I'll catch you guys the next time I feel like making a video. Probably tomorrow. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.